Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. We also examine the worlds of education and workplace ethics. My name is Breakaway Ray. I like talking about the breakaway civilizations and breaking away from the one we're in now. You've tuned in to a live tarot throw. Today is August 20th, 2025. Just to remind people or let people know who may be dropping in for the first time, I like to open with a tarot card reading, set the stage, hear more about the theme of the day. And then from there, I have some information I'd like to cover. It's almost like a lesson, if you will. And then afterwards, I will check the chat and see if anyone requests a reading. And thereafter, when we're all done, maybe in about an hour, we'll close up shop for the day. And I see that we already have someone in the chat. I'm not looking at the chat. I just see, the letters go up, they scroll up. So I know someone's there. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks again for tuning in. Today is the first day of school in my neighborhood. So want to wish all the students and teachers and everyone at the schools a great new year. That's so much fun when you get to be at school. Great. So I have shuffled the cards as I did yesterday for a one-card throw to set the stage for what we're going to talk about today. And I made a lot of notes. Anyway, let's go to the tarot cam. I'm going to adjust it right now. Here we go. I almost have so much on my mind. I'm trying to talk about a lot of things at once. All right, so I have, oh, there's Tiffany. Yeah, good morning, Tiffany. All right, glad you made it. So I've already shuffled the cards, and in the description, I talked about a secret space program experiencer named Arkheim Ra. And I want to say right from the start, I'm a big fan of Arkheim Ra. And I also mentioned something called the Greenbaum Speech, which has to do with personalities and multiple personalities, and something called mind control. In any case, those are the themes that I had planned for us to explore today, because it is my opinion, and this is not an area in which I've been trained, that each of us has the ability not only to engage in multiple personalities, but I think that it's something that we could capitalize on because we have them. And we're going to ask the tarot deck what they think. Should we explore multiple personalities? Would it be advantageous? Or maybe we should continue repressing that idea because it's just going to make a mess of things. Oh, well, that was a nice way to couch everything. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see what the tarot world thinks of today's theme. I'm pretty sure they helped me come up with it. Top card, one card draw. Here we go. All right. I'm on fire. I should go to Vegas because I know how to pick them. It's the 10 of Pentacles. We saw this card a couple of times yesterday. But let's take a look. There's like a key word on here that's a good response to what we've talked about so far. I say what we've talked about. I've done all the talking. I know. Where's my glass? There we go. I see the last words on the card are long-term success and contribution. I agree. That's what I'm thinking. It's like probably a good idea to explore these alternate personalities. After all, even in our regular day-to-day life, we transition between roles all the time. The difference I'm talking about might have a little bit to do with what we remember. Anyway, great. I'm off to a good start. Let's do a quick 3-card throw for all of us. Anyone tuning in right now, and of course, anyone who watches later on. It's Thursday, August 20th, around most of the world, depending on what time zone you're in. Warm greetings to you from STARCARD Podcast. And the tarot world wants to show us where we're at, what might be influencing us, and the path that we might take forward. do a quick 3-card throw. All right, so how are we doing today? Where are we at, please? Is there something influencing the position we're at? Maybe there's a nice path we can follow. Okay, so now I'm going to flip them around so it works better here. There we go. Okay, so maybe our position as a group today, or anytime you're watching this video, judgment. Judgment talks about rebirth, inner calling, a new phase, absolution, reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, and mercy. But I kind of like the two terms rebirth and inner calling when we're talking about multiple personalities. There's a bit of an inner calling involved there. And for a lot of us, including me, the idea of having alternate personalities kind of changes everything. And that's a kind of rebirth. Next up, it's what might be influencing us right now, people who are listening to me talk. Yeah, there's magic in the air. What might be influencing us is the magic in the air, the message that we're getting from the tarot world, perhaps. I mean, that story seems to come kind of easily to me. So finally, maybe there's a path we can step towards. You know, there's a direction we can aim ourselves. The Queen of Cups. I'd like to get to know this person a little bit better. Let's take a look at what it says on the Queen of Cups. Compassion, comfort, calm, nurturing, healing, emotionally stable, intuitive, and caring. If you were someone with multiple personalities, you would want a queen like this. She's the one that can communicate in a caring and compassionate way with all the other personalities that she is the monarch of. It's funny how I use that word monarch, huh? She reigns over all the personalities. If you're into this school of thought, it would be the front altar. You want the front altar to be, well, I'm trying to think of the name of a matronly, how about Mrs. Claus? Or, I'm trying hard not to say the names of someone who are people who are in the public eye, who come off as very caring and loving, because at the same time there's like a whole spin, to take that person down. So I don't want to mix messages here. Anyway, I suppose if you're going to head down a path where we're considering the idea of managing multiple personalities and trying to beat other people to the punch, doing so, all of us need to have a Queen of Cups in charge. Okay, well, that's good enough. I'm going to go now to some of my notes, which means I get to move the camera back up. Because, yeah, I have to get all the way to the part where I get to throw the cards about what the tarot world thinks about introducing and employing multiple personalities on our own. As I mentioned, it seems like something we do all the time. Even children do it. They behave in one manner at home, and they know that they have to take on a different role when they get to the classroom. I'm sure lots of teachers do the same thing. They dress up for work and they put on that nice face so that the weather in the classroom is mild and positive and warm. Meanwhile, maybe when they got home, there's a whole different set of circumstances and their personality may adjust. So I'm going to grab my light, bring it a little bit closer over here so I can take a look at my notes and keep my thoughts together. Here we go. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, it's Thursday. It's almost the end of the week. And I want to kind of review some of the things that we talked about this week. Because even for myself, I feel like I put together a picture and it feels like I'm having an awakening. So first of all, I gave a bunch of hints about a previous advanced civilization. An advanced civilization that was global. And it had obviously many eras, as noted by different styles of architecture, for example. it was probably a multi-ethnic global society and probably a polyspecies planet. There were probably beings from other worlds visiting and living upon our planet Earth, which seems to be infested mostly with about 8 billion of us surface-dwelling humans. It appears as if there was some kind of reset, which involved a cover-up and a rewrite of history. And I think that this goes along with a lot of the technology. You could take the technology, you could also take the geography, and you could sanitize it and hide things that for national security you don't want people to know about. You could call it national security, but it's really a way to control what's really valuable. For example, if you ran a stable, you have many intelligent creatures in the stable, running race around the racetrack, doing what horses do, for example. I'm now venturing off into equestrian sciences. I know nothing about this stuff. But what I'm trying to say is horses are very, very smart animals. But if you have a draft horse, for example, a horse that was bred just for work in the field, that horse may go its entire life never knowing what it's like to run through fields in the open and never learn about its power and never travel as far as it could, under its own power, under its own horsepower, right? So getting ahead of myself with my own thoughts, there's some evidence of this worldwide civilization. The same style buildings worldwide, whether they're built in a Romanesque style or a revival style or whatever those terms are. Sometimes those are Egyptian style. And that's peculiar how they show up all over the world. Why in the United States, according to our history, would we need people in the days before power tools to go out of their way to make buildings look like they look like in Egypt? Why would we here in the United States even do that with buildings that are of Arab design? Why would these people who are in a horse and buggy society and they're getting things out of their garden every day, why are they going out of their way to do things that we could never do today? We wouldn't even spend the money or the time even thinking about it. Okay, let's continue with my notes here. Yeah, I mentioned Egyptian style buildings. There's Egyptian style buildings in Memphis, Tennessee, and Cairo and other cities in the United States. There are streets in 19th century Portland, Oregon. I saw a video, I think it was Old World Exploration. It showed Portland in the 1800s. And it looked like it looked like an old city in Europe. It had all these heavy stone buildings. And the street was carefully designed, as if it was like some kind of grand plan like they did in Paris, which is true. All these cities were planned out this way. Think about Madison, Wisconsin, and how that State House sits in the middle of streets that spike off of it throughout the city. Not to mention the railways and the underground. Anyway, there's so many other researchers that cover this stuff. So I mention these things so that you could consider venturing out and studying about them yourself. You could start with Michelle Gibson, right? And that's in the description. So I gave you a link to start with. So yeah, European style buildings in countries of European colonies in South America and Asia. How and why did humans build them? Why do you have knockoff little European cities in South America? As I mentioned yesterday, did these explorers really go to a new country, hold up their one shot at a time rifles, enslave everybody and say, we don't speak your language, but we're going to go build some castles and palaces to remind us of home? I think that's a funny story. I should write a book about that. Okay. My point is that these buildings, again, were already here. They were already around the world. And our history doesn't match up with what probably did happen. It was a good story, but the curtain's up on that wizard, right? So these things are already here, and the railways. Another odd thing. How is it that all these railways are all of the same specifications? Like train tracks on different continents are the same measurement. How did that happen if they were building these railways in the days of or before the days of the telegraph. Okay, page 2. Okay. So much of what is really valuable about our civilization is concealed from us, okay, on the outside, but also on the inside. Humans on Earth's surface are the draft horses. Yeah, here I go with that draft horse thing. I'm going to go ahead and reread it. It says here, humans on Earth's surface are the draft horses, which were never allowed to run free, and so we never know the true power and beauty of who we are. All right, so now I'd like to flash back to a different subject, which would be the secret space program. And there are many secret space program experiencers I have mentioned on STARCARD podcast so far, including Chris O'Connor and Rebecca Rose, Mark Domizio, Penny Bradley, John Whitberg, Raynetta Jones, even Jason Rice, and that's kind of a surprise to me. I've even done 2 videos about specific secret space program experiencers, including Daryl James. He is the subject of Pardon the Instruction. And then Tony Rodriguez, who shows up in a couple of them, but he's got one where we just talk about his story. So one person I've never mentioned is Arkheim Ra. And again, good to say right off the bat, I'm a big fan of Arkheim Ra. Mr. Ra would like to come on the STARCARD podcast. I'd love to have him. Of course, he's terrifically entertaining. The stories he tells are unbelievable and intriguing. But at the same time, I don't want to look over the fact he's gone through a lot and he's made a lot of sacrifices. And I admire the way, in spite of it all, he's going to tell his story. And I really admire that kind of work ethic. So congratulations, Arkheim Ra. And now I want to tell you about the 2 links I put in the description about Mr. Ra. First of all, I put the link to his story, his interview on St. Olga 69. It's a great place to meet him and learn about him. The host of St. Olga 69 is an incredibly wonderful interviewer. Congratulations to him. And then Arkheim Ra has his own podcast called Disclosure Now. Disclosure Now. And I put a link to that, but the link I put doesn't actually have Arkheim Ra in it, but it's a video that Mr. Ra posted on his webcast, his podcast, called the Greenbaum Speech. Now, the Greenbaum, I'm not sure anybody is ready to hear the Greenbaum Speech. In fact, I know I posted it and I'm talking about it and I'm directing people to it, but I don't think it's a good idea for anyone to watch it. And I'm not like joking around. It's a little mind-blowing. The gentleman who makes the speech is an expert psychologist, and through a large series of hypnosis events, he's been able to put together a picture that's systematic and civilization-wide, but it also reveals the secret of the human mind. Secrets of the human mind that we're not even told about, simple basic things that we're not even told about in elementary school. And because we don't know about it, we don't explore it, other people capitalize on our ignorance. And while we still have freedom of speech, I'm happy to, stick my hand in the air here and say, hey, we should all pay attention to this. We all got a chance to do something while we're still here. Anyway, so I'd like to go to the tarot deck. Like I mentioned, I think I've covered everything. Let me double check here. Oh yeah, one more thing regarding the roles. I talked about the different roles we play: parent, employee, boss, neighbor, caretaker. Okay. For example, I know a little bit about being a caretaker, and you're not a caretaker all the time. You might have to take care of a parent or a child, but there's some times that are, it's your time. You're not playing that role. Okay. I'm off the clock. Okay. Actors obviously play roles all the time. And I'm going to pause right here and compliment one of my favorite actors, Kenan Thompson, on Saturday Night Live. He's been on that program for a long, long time. He's played on probably more than 100 characters. But one of the things I like about Kenan Thompson, he's always the same person in every role. He's always the guy that's having fun and trying to have a good time and laughing. He's halfway laughing. He can't stop himself from laughing all the way through the scene. Anyway, I want to say thanks to Mr. Thompson for making everybody smile. Okay, but then there's other things. You know, maybe you were thinking to yourself, besides the roles that I play, maybe I want to be a musician. Well, there's this story of Sting, the very famous singer from the band called The Police. He was a teacher, and he said, I need to make a change, and I'd like to be a rock star. And what he did was he said, well, you know what? Every rock band needs a bass player. Nobody wants to play bass. And so he would practice, and he taught himself bass. And he would practice, I understand, up to 8 hours a day. Well, guess what? You're going to go to work like that. You're going to end up like Sting. Yeah. Congratulations to him. Another example, you know, maybe you want to be a writer. Well, stop dreaming about it. You got a half an hour. You're going to sit around and watch TV? No, go get a notebook and explore what you want to say. Athletes. So a lot of people say athletes have, you know, God-given talent. And for sure, we mentioned Michael Jordan this week, the great NBA player, the great basketball player. Everyone knows his incredible story about how he was cut from his high school basketball team when he was a junior. And he said, I'm never going to let that happen again. And he practiced his mind off and became Michael Jordan. Okay. But I don't want to overlook two gentlemen, perhaps less physically gifted. How about Muggsy Bogues and Spud Webb? Those guys were giants in the NBA, and they held their own with guys like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Those guys were first stringers. So, you know, you put your mind to it, the world is your oyster. And then, you know, when you consider the power of the mind like that, powers that we can do, you know, powers we've already just talked about, individuals making that effort to change their lives and improve their lives. Well, the military can capitalize on that too. You know, you could train people to become soldiers. Now they do it easily with video games. You could train people to be assassins and spies. And, you know, they could reach a very excellent level with this kind of human intense effort. Well, obviously, I'm saying all that tongue in cheek because that's exactly what the military has done. And which brings me back to Arkheim Ra. You know, Mr. Ra has personalities as a time soldier. As a time soldier, he was sabotaging whole societies. Okay, he has a personality as an ancient Egyptian god, and this ancient Egyptian god entity was hijacked and put into a human body for military purposes. If this stuff interests you, I invite you to go to Disclosure Now and check out interviews with Arkheim Ra. He's a pretty fascinating person. So let's get the cards out. And I'm going to now ask the tarot world, dissociative. Oh, yeah. Let's go to the tarot camp. Yeah. Well, look at that long list of chat. All right. I can't wait. Okay, so the scientific term for multiple personality disorder is also dissociative identity disorder, DID. And so what we're asking is, you know, should the run-of-the-mill person repress or explore multiple identities and the power of dissociative identity disorder? All right. Wow, everyone in the chat has a lot to say. I can't wait to check it out. All right, but hello again, Tarot World. Here we are. We're wondering what you have to say about repressing or exploring dissociative identity disorder to expand our consciousness and expand our powers and our experience as humans. Is it dangerous, or is it just not worth our time? Yeah. Should we leave it to the professionals? Please show us what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear. Please show us what we need to see. Please tell us what we need to hear. Thank you. Press. Or explore. All right. This is for entertainment purposes only. And something tells me it's very entertaining because I'm all fired up and I think a lot of other people are too. All right, repress. Should we repress any notions? Isn't it hard enough just to keep your head together with one personality, Breakaway Ray? Come on, let's not get carried away here. Repress it. The King of Swords. Well, that's a pretty strong statement. Head over heart, discipline, truthful, honest, mental clarity, authority. I'm feeling two messages here, so I'm not sure which one it is. Either the idea of repressing it and my facetious tone about repressing it is much better. Sounds like it's the right answer. I think my facetiousness was the problem here. Let's turn another card. Oh, it's the Death card, which indicates endings, beginnings, and transformation. Yeah, let's take a look at the sentence. Let's not get hung up on every card here for a second. The Four of Cups. There's multiple cups there. Oh, all right. It's the Queen of Wands, who talks about the zest of life, zest for life. And the Six of Cups. Okay, so I'm starting to calm down here. Isn't it better to repress multiple personalities? Just focus on the one. I do believe you need to have a front altar. You need to be the one in charge of your front altar. Okay, that's the important thing. You need to be the front altar. You need to be in charge of it. But anyway, should you repress it? Yeah, that sounds right, because there's going to be a change. There'll be an ending or a beginning where you'll be in meditation and you're not paying attention to everything. You should have a zest for life, because life is precious, time is precious, and now is the time to make happy memories, probably with your dominant personality, your front personality. I think I'd like to take a look at these three cards again with the class. The Four of Cups: meditation, contemplation, apathy, re-evaluation, disconnected. Disconnected, as in separating personalities. Courage, confident, independence, focused, zest for life, determination, and joy. Happy memories, childhood memories, innocence, joy, nostalgia. Joy. Should you repress it? Yes. Or was that my facetiousness? Yeah, you should repress it, because there's a change when you introduce new personalities. You might find a lot of joy in the same kind of joy that we discussed with all those basketball players who changed their lives and people who changed their careers by becoming the person that they want to be. All right. Well, what about exploring it? Surely this will be easier to read. I got to try harder. All right. Should we explore? I'm getting a yes with the Fool card. That's the beginning. In fact, yeah, there's so many good words on this. New beginnings, possibilities, innocence. Yeah, there's possibilities. There's innocence, spontaneous optimism, trust in life, blind faith, adventure, opportunity, pleasure. Yeah, every time you open up a a new alternate personality, that's a new adventure, a new lifetime for you. All right, 9 of Cups, wishes come true. Woohoo! Keep going, come on. No, the King of Wands, that's the big picture. I think the Queen of Wands should have gone over here. But yeah, the King of Wands says it's the big picture. It also says natural leader, visionary, overcoming challenges. I like that, visionary and overcoming challenges. Yeah, who's going to help you? Yourself. Open up a new personality. Be the person you want to be. Make that wish come true. Yeah, multiple priorities. 2 of Pentacles. Oh, the homecoming. Invite all your personalities home. When we talk about these alternate personalities, ones that you can't create, you might also want to throw in your previous lifetimes. They're already sitting there. And I mentioned that because I see my friend Julia Anchorhaven is in the chat, and I know she knows about alternate personalities and reincarnated lives. So that was kind of fun. I want to thank everyone for being patient as I asked the tarot deck. I've got to be more careful about how I ask my questions. Ask the tarot deck about whether or not it's a good idea to explore and capitalize on alternate personalities. My big sense is yes. I mean, they almost use the same language right back at us there. All right, so let's get these cards aside, and then I get to take a peek at the notes that everyone's been passing in class. One moment, please. That's a lot of writing. Whoa, okay, come on. All right, let's check it out. Hello again to Tiffany. Hello, Sally Forth. Happy to see you. Hello, KCMR. Nice to meet you. Thanks for visiting. Hello again, Julia. Yeah, okay, so Tiffany knows about Arkheim Ra. Cool. Wow, and of course, Julia does too. Wow. Cool. I'm not going to be able to read. I'm going to have to read it later, I think. This is pretty great. So, well, lovely. Everyone's having a wonderful conversation. And now, I do see Rose is there. Hello, Rose. Thanks for jumping in. So if there's anybody out there who's watching and would like a reading, I'm welcome to take your requests. If not, we can throw cards about something else. I can wish everyone a... Okay, thank you, Julia. All right, Julia, you can ask for a reading. If there's a special subject. I was re-watching our show together, Julia Anchorhaven. I just want to say how great an interview you were. You really brought out some nice qualities. I look really nice on your show. So thanks a lot. That was a lot of fun. So, Julia's here. I don't know what's on her mind. Yeah, let's play a game. I got my eyes closed. I'm not looking at the chat. So let's show Julia what she needs to see. Oh, why don't we? I've got my eyes closed, Julia. I'm not even going to look in the chat. So here's what I'm going to do. I think that there's like some kind of a decision that might come your way, and I wonder if the tarot cards can give you some signals. So, if you go one way, this is what it'll look like, and if you go the other way, this is what it'll look like. It sounds pretty nebulous to me, but you might be able to apply the examples. So yeah, we're like playing a game, right? Here I go. Please show us 2 timelines of a nice decision Julia has coming up. Also, I want to say to Julia, I hope your foot is feeling better. That looks like a big deal. I saw some of the pictures. You're so kind to share your personal life with us, Julia. I mean, the outer world and the inner world, obviously. So let's see if I could show 2 paths to Julia. All right, Julia. It's always fun throwing cards. Ooh, there. These cards can't wait to flip over. Let me get the glare off there. All right, that's not so bad. So, Six of Cups, family, happy memories. Oh, the Sun card, all is well. The Four of Swords, rest, meditation, maybe take a pause. And the Knight of Wands, charge. So, and let's compare it with the next path. So if you're not going this way, it might end up going this way. Public recognition. Ugh. We're just playing a game. Three of Swords, heartache, pain. The Page of Pentacles, promise. And the Seven of Wands, a challenge. The Six of Wands and the Seven of Wands. I know I like this path better. This card is, well, there's kind of an exchange, isn't there? There's a lot of hard work before you get to the good part where, you know, the financial opportunity or you see the value. This is the kind of message that someone like you with a great serious work ethic, a dedicated person like you, this is exactly the kind of message I think you don't need to be reminded of. You know, hard work, you know, pays off. Yeah, we know you're working hard. Anyway, I think there's a lot of hard work to do, and it's great how you're the one that can do it. You're up for the challenge, and we are talking about your public life here, right? With your podcast. I mean, that's all I know about as far as your work goes. Oh, your public life, your private life, hanging out with your family, having a good time, taking a break, and that charges you up to do your job. Julia, thank you so much. I learn something every time I throw cards for you. You are so kind to me from way over the sea across the pond. Thanks a lot. All right, let's see if there's someone else who would like to see, excuse me. I'm trying to see if there's another reading there, another request. Oh, Namira's here. Hello, Namira. Good to see you. Great. Yeah, take it easy. All right. Okay. Well, if there aren't any more requests, you people in the chat look like you're having so much fun talking to each other. Okay, so Tiffany, great. Thanks for requesting a reading, Tiffany. I had my fingers crossed that you would. So yeah, I'm happy to do a reading for you. Anything you should be aware of? Let's find out. Is there anything Tiffany needs to be aware of? Maybe she has a secret admirer. Please show us what Tiffany needs to see. Please tell us what Tiffany needs to hear. Please show us what Tiffany needs to see. Please tell us what Tiffany needs to hear. And thanks for the help. All right. What's Tiffany need to see? What's Tiffany need to hear? These better be some good cards. And this is dessert. It's ice cream after dinner. All right. You know, because I think I do observe that Tiffany shows up like every day, every time I turn on the camera. So I'm happy to take you out for ice cream. Here we go. First up, it's the Nine of Cups. Wishes come true. Let's read it to you. Where'd my glass go? There it is. Wish come true. Contentment, satisfaction, emotional stability, luxury, and gratitude. And the Ten of Swords, you know, it looks worse than it is. This is the end of a painful episode. Well, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but isn't that cool? Your wish is coming true. This is the end of a painful episode. Something's going to be lifted off your shoulders. Yeah. You know what? We're using up a lot of good cards here. And, I hope we don't run out because I threw a lot of cards. So here's the Page of Cups. And he says that there's going to be a happy surprise. All right. The Four of Swords is meditation, contemplation, rest, relaxation. Maybe you have a great August holiday plan, a little vacation. Well, that would be a dream come true. Dream come true. Yeah, dream come true. Okay. And then the Three of Pentacles is the card about teamwork. Teamwork, collaboration, learning, implementation, and building something. Next. Yeah, it's the Emperor. That's pretty cool. You're totally in charge, aren't you? Well, let's keep it going, shall we, Tarot World? All right, you're doing a great job. Okay, so there's the Eight of Cups, and it's the walk-away card. So, yeah, again, maybe a vacation's on the way or something. You're walking away from work, and you're going to go off and get back in touch with nature and back in touch with yourself and who you are. I hope you have a restful vacation. Oh. All right. It's the Devil card. Oh, okay. Good thing I threw like the extra card, right? The Devil card. Shadow Self. Oh my goodness. That's like the title of today's show. Shadow work, right? Okay. Attachment, addiction, restriction, sexuality, temptation, seduction, destructive behavior, materialism, codependency, and toxicity. I read all the words on the card. I don't know if any apply, but you've been here almost every time I've thrown cards on STARCARD podcast. You know what we say about the Devil card. It's all about, you can let it go. You just take the chains off and you can be free of it. This guy's walking away too. Okay, so let's have some dessert. Oh, that's perfect for you. How about the Empress card? Abundance, nurturing, fertility, feminine, good parenting, development, accomplishment, growth, evolution, and action. I think if I did a one card throw for you, Tiffany, I think this would have been the card we would have gotten all along. So what a pleasure. Thank you very much. I can't believe it's only 43 minutes in, so I'm still open to throwing more cards, even though I ought to quit while I'm ahead. So if there's anyone else who wants a request, I'll check the chat in a second. Okay. Oh, that must have been some good espresso I had this morning. Let's check the chat real quick, see what's going on. Well, thank you very much, Sally Forth. Again, when I get feedback about how close I am with what I'm doing up here with the tarot cards, it helps me know I'm on the right path. I'm new to this. I only started in March. Also, Rose. Let me get my pen and paper here, just to see how many I can get done. Career opportunities and love life. See if there's someone else also. And yeah, I took care of Tiffany and Sally Forth. Okay. I'm making notes. Everybody, thanks for being patient. And Tiffany, thanks for your encouraging comment. Thanks for supporting each other, everybody. So I see Sally, and then Rose wants one. Oh yeah, sounds like everyone's keeping track as well as I am. So, all right, so let's take care of Rose first. Career / and love. Hey, Tarot World, remember that cool reading we just did for Julia Anchorhaven? Let's do something like that for Rose, please. We want to see a timeline about career and love opportunities, please. I'm pretty sure that everyone who's tuning in now and in the future, you know, everybody's concentration helps the universe hear my request and helps them to channel their energy as I shuffle the cards. All right. Can you show us what we need to see? Please tell us what we need to hear about Rose's career and love opportunities. Career and then love. I just opened my eyes a crack to put the card down. I saw like a burst of chat in the chat. It's like fireworks in there. Okay, here we go, Rose. This is all for entertainment purposes only. And again, it looks like a lot of people are entertained. We're all having a good time today. So this row was about the career opportunities. Hang on. That's better. You guys can see, right? All right, career. We'll start with the 5 of Cups and the Ace of Wands, making magic. Ugh. The 3 of Swords and the Heartache. All right, but the good news, Rose, is that you're the High Priestess. So regarding the career, maybe, I mean, just by the sound of you asking about career, it looks like you see that there's something wrong. And maybe also, this might be just because of my own personal experience, you know, you've built up a lot. Like, look behind the guy. He's got a lot behind him. You know, he's worked very hard to keep up. And it's hard to walk away from something like that, but it's also hard to continue when you see, you know, basically the mess that's made. However, you can't forget how powerful you are, because you went to that place. You went to that place for a reason, and you whatever your next career is, okay, something that you've learned at where you're at right now is going to contribute to your next step, right? So sometimes the things that come behind us and help us become stronger characters are trials, not necessarily having a spoon in our mouth when we're born, a silver spoon in our mouth, if anyone remembers what that expression means. So yeah, despite the fact that it's all like kind of planned out for your learning, I mean, we're really going to get hermetic here. You know, this is a projection from the inside, and you have the power to alter your programming. First, become cognizant of it. Then you won't be so focused on the pain. You'll be focused on your magic as the High Priestess. You won't be so focused on the pain. You'll be focused on the magic of the High Priestess. Wow. I like it better like that. That's me making it inspirational, right? Okay. Well, let's leave this out. We haven't talked about your love life yet. Hey, yo, even if none of this stuff is true, this sure is fun to talk about, you know, because one of my hobbies is writing, and this feels very creative to me. So thanks a lot, everybody, for letting me get on the soapbox and entertain you. I love holding the microphone. That has always been part of my deal. But anyway, another day for that story. So, love life, the end of a long job, hard work. The Two of Pentacles, the world. Wow. Oh, wow. And the Hangman. I like this. First of all, I'm going to say right now that after I take care of Rose and Sally, I'm going to call it, okay, everybody? Because the tarot cards are getting kind of intense. And I don't want to mess up. So let me read the cards just so I can get my bearings on this row about love possibilities for Rose. Burden, extra responsibility, hard work, completion, multiple priorities, completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, celebration of light, completion, and an alternate perspective with the Hangman. Pause, surrender, letting go, new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things differently than before, deep insight, sacrifice, change, and release. I want to read all those again. I mean, I always knew the Hangman was have a different perspective, but listen to all those beautiful messages from the Hangman. Pause, surrender, letting go, new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things differently than before, deep insight, sacrifice, change, and release. Love interests. Well, we talked about completion. This is a situation where I think I'm just gonna have to present a dynamic. Somewhere there's some completion. Maybe you completed more than one task. Take a look at what has transpired so that you can see what's ahead of you better. How did things really go in the past? So recognize it, and you'll probably head down a path in a different way. And when you go down a different street, you're going to meet different people. I'm just giving it a try, and I definitely want to disqualify myself when it comes to romance, okay? I'm not the person to get advice from, but I am trying really hard to make this inspirational. And the cards are so spiritual in their concepts, it's fun to blend them all together and make a story. So why don't we see, in general, Rose, what the last message is for you here. The Queen of Swords. Well, this is a card that says you were right. So I think it's a message for you that you were right. Maybe you were right about what you were thinking while I was going through the cards. I'm hoping it's also saying, yo, Breakaway Ray, you were right. Good job reading. A little feedback. So anyway, I hope that works for you, Rose, and I wish you a lot of luck. I'm having so much fun, and again, I wasn't even sure I was going to turn on the camera today. I'm not sure I'm going to turn on the camera. Like, I'm thinking on Fridays, it might be nice for me to come out to have a happy hour throwing tarot cards, so maybe on a Friday I might come out in the afternoon. And on Sunday afternoon, that was so nice. That felt like family. So Sunday afternoon might be another time. I'm letting everyone know, because if you're enjoying my show and you want to tune in, I know predictability is nice. It's something you can count on. So, if I'm not otherwise engaged, it looks like I like to throw cards after my hike in the morning during the weekdays. But when it comes to Friday, maybe I'll see you Friday afternoon, and maybe on a Sunday afternoon. Maybe. All right. So this is for Sally Forth. So I read what Sally said in the chat. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I'm going to ask the tarot world maybe. I'm sure that they would like to confirm that they know what Sally Forth is talking about. State the position of the situation, and then maybe also deliver a suggestion on what kind of steps to take. So thank you, Tarot World. Let's help our friend Sally Forth. Please show Sally Forth what she needs to see. Please. tell us what she needs to hear. Thanks for all your fun, helpful messages today. See, I've only been doing this 4 months. Isn't this fun? I hope like more people pick up tarot decks of their own. Make sure you get a deck like this that has the words right on the card, right? Makes it go fast when you learn. Please show us what Sally needs to see. Please tell us what Sally needs to hear. Wow. It's for Sally. For Sally Forth. Okay, Sally Forth. I want to thank everyone again for coming out. I think this is going to be the last one. Yeah. So we'll close with Sally's today. Probably, but in any case, these are for you, Sally. So what's going on, and what path should we follow, and any like encouraging statements? Some give us some place to focus. Okay, so I see the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. Whoa. And the Five of Pentacles. All right, I'm going to have to read these, right? Queen of Pentacles, nurturing, practical, providing financially, a working parent. She has something precious and valuable right in her lap. And if this was a statue from Baroque era Italy, it would be a Madonna child. Ten of Pentacles. Wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, and contribution. Well, I was just talking about the Madonna and child. And now if you look really close at the Ten of Pentacles, this almost looks like the manger scene. And then speaking of the manger scene, in this snowy scene of Five of Pentacles, it reads, a financial loss, lack of mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, and insecurity. Yeah, so on this card, I hear about financial security. On this card, I hear providing financially. And then on this card, I hear that there's like a loss, a financial loss. I mean, I am not looking at the chat. I don't know what's going on, but it totally sounds like there was money, and now someone's being left out in the cold. Very sorry to hear that for whoever it is. I mean, that's the energy we want to heal, right? That's the one that needs the balance. It's not even about the individual. It's balancing the energy. So maybe there's a path forward. Yay! Well, if you're watching the STARCARD podcast, you're here for an alternate perspective. It's the Hanged Man. Let's reread this beautiful card and keep these words in mind as we go through the rest of that row. Pause, surrender, letting go, new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things differently than before, deep insight, sacrifice, change, and release. The Ace of Pentacles. You are a pentacleaholic. I'm teasing. I'm sure you're a nothingaholic. We don't have to discuss it. But there's a lot of pentacles here. Here's one of the best ones. Ace of Pentacles, abundance, manifestation, opportunity, new career or financial opportunity, new venture, prosperity. Oh my goodness. Eight of Pentacles. Diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, skill development, repetitive tasks. Judgment. This is like an allegory. Judgment, rebirth, inner calling, a new phase, absolution, reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, and mercy. Maybe, you know, I don't know. I think I should let the cards speak for themselves there. I'm sure that you could string together the dynamics in your life that match these energies. But there's an alternate perspective, and there will be a new beginning, and there will be a lot of repetitive tasks and hard work to balance things out, which is what judgment's all about. You know, and with judgment comes recognition, acknowledgement. Okay, and then I don't know. Here's the last two words for our friend Sally Forth. It's the Eight of Cups and the Emperor. There's a lot of walking away involved for a good reason. Whatever it was, it doesn't serve anymore. It's not important, and you're totally in control of that. So this is like the federal government dropping a whole program, saying, you know what, we just don't need it. It's gonna be a big deal. You know, your decision will carry a lot of weight when you walk away. It's probably not just going to be, you know, involving you, but probably be to everybody's benefit, whatever action you take. The Emperor is a very positive card. So, all right. Thank you so much, everybody. Again, it was a lot of fun chatting with you all today and throwing tarot cards. Thanks for following along with me with my exploration about history and breakaway civilizations. I hope we can all take the lessons and the fun discussions that we had with the tarot deck this week and apply it towards having a good weekend, because every day gets better and better. So have a good one, and thanks a lot. Bye.